It's time. It's time to start the final episode. The final episode, I say, of Bedlam Hall. Episode 10. We got here against all odds. It was a fun time. It was a crazy time. It was a scary time. But there we are. So yeah.
It's time to start the music. It's time to light the lights.
It's time to get things started on...
Getting started at Bedlam Hall tonight.
All right, yeah, I don't think anybody understands it anymore. But that's the Muppet Show. That's the Muppet Show. All right, so let's go right ahead and introduce our folks here. Steve, how are you doing? How are you feeling about episode 10?
I'm excited to watch the world burn. I make sure our characters have jobs and live into retirement.
Excited to watch the world turn?
Yes,
You said turn,
That's
right?
what I meant, turn,
Yeah.
right?
Turn.
Unless it's Mortimer turning into undead,
Nice.
which could well happen.
All right. And we have Jason, who's having technical difficulties tonight, but that's all right.
Well, I died, so you can't see me now. I'm clearly a ghost or something, right?
You're clearly a ghost.
Ooh, spooky, but in a British accent.
And how are you feeling about episode 10 here?
I have a feeling that we completely derailed your plans, and that is hilarious. And as for what's actually going to happen, I am completely fucking terrified.
Well, then you're in the right mindset. And last but not least, we have Philip. How's Philip?
Philip is good. Philip is great.
Excellent.
I feel like
How's
you
Philip
saved
feeling
all
about episode
the scariest shit for last, so I'm a little bit nervous about that because we've already had some horrifying stuff.
10? Yeah, it's been terrifying.
The patriarch was shot in front of a wedding party.
It was all part of the traditional Malbane wedding charm.
And then
you have to welcome them
and then he was probably dead when you buried him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, she's not
He wasn't talking.
You guys are killing me. No pun intended. So let's do this. Yeah, not yet. So let's do we're going to do the intro video one last time. One last time. Here we go. Bedlam Hall, episode 10. Here we go.
Mortimer killed the chef as a baby and then got back up through the secret passage and pushed it open with the big chest of drawers it required two of us to move it in front of it and survived being shot with a blunderbuss and buried alive.
That's staying power,
Well,
if nothing.
I mean, I have a feeling that Mortimer might show up as a villain in one episode of Scott's forthcoming Highlander game.
Oh my god. But probably not. Probably.
Just saying.
Mortimer.
Just saying. The implication I've been getting through all of this is that he is essentially immortal.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta get me some of that blood ritual.
I was gonna say a battle axe could take care of that. The only one.
I left you my battle axe a +3 butlering. Better put it to good use.
I will.
All right, let's jump into it, peeps. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to. Steve was not with us last week. So Steve, for Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Reynolds has basically kind of kept. He was the one keeping the guests, with food and drink during, before, and after the wedding. It was kind of just all over the place in the background and unable to really leap into the foreground. So that's Mr. Reynolds' thing there, as an FYI. What was that?
There's pleasure in service sometimes.
Sometimes. Hey, also, may I bring the mic up a little bit? We're missing you when you first start out, so make sure I hear all your good stuff. Excellent. So
before I start talking. Hi. How's that?
That's great. So let's see. So the last loose end from last session is we left Stephanie Denker. She was surrounded by black-robed individuals who had closed in on her, and she was just determined to stay there, which she did. The last sensation she felt on her was this grasping of something on her ankle, and she looked down, and a hand had come up from the grave in which she had buried Lord Mortimer Malbane. And then suddenly everything went black. And then suddenly she opens her eyes, and it's the next morning. She's in her bed in the servants' quarters. She's in her bed in the servants' quarters, and her entire body is like just covered in dirt. And hence her bed coverings are also ground in and wet still as she opens her eyes and sits up. And there's this little lock of white hair that's now formed in her forelock that kind of gets brought to the back there in her normal hairstyle. But yes, a little foreshock there. And does Current sleep at this point? I still don't know.
That's a very good question. The answer is going to be that Current does not know. He certainly tries to. He will get into bed and he will lay down and close his eyes. And then he's not sure whether or not he falls asleep or not. And whether he's essentially imagining things or they're actually dreams. He's certainly telling himself that he fell asleep. Definitely fell asleep. Definitely those were dreams. But he's haunted by the fact that maybe they aren't, and maybe he's just not sleeping. It is strange that he's just always tired. You know, like he was actually, 100 years in the future. He's just always tired.
This is not Buck Rogers. It's not that story. But yeah, that's cool. So yeah, the next day happens and things are, just as you are able to kind of overlook the strange, so is the family. They kind of, as you've seen, very much roll with the punches. Everyone kind of saw what Mortimer was doing. The fact that a servant shot him wasn't even really noticed. It's like they don't even remember who did it. It's the servant, the helper, that, like, anonymous to them. But it was deemed that, well, the family was in the end protected, and Bartholomew, who is the heir, is only too happy to kind of, take the seat at the head of the table and that kind of good stuff. Time passes, and this is kind of the case. Bartholomew is kind of setting a new standard. Current, you'll notice that more and more money gets diverted from family funds to petty cash that then is requested by Bartholomew to be handed out to him. And that kind of thing. That's definitely a change. Food is now delivered. I'm going to say that none of you have any real incredible skill to culinarily delight the Malbane family. So now basically there's standing orders for every single meal with town. And it's like the town, even the town knows all the crazy stuff that's been going on, even more so than normal lately. They as like the people deliver the goods, they basically set the stuff down by the door and go. That the automobile that's waiting for them never stops running, and it's almost to the point where, yes, it's actually getting a running start as the other person's up, and they have to kind of dive into the car to make sure that as little bad luck gets rubbed off on them from the manor as possible. More, what dark magics are going on here. The other change, of course, is that Electo is now part of the household. She is now not an other. She has been moved up to status of Malbane family by marriage. Like it or not, on the family's part, she is now wife of the next in line, should anything happen to Bartholomew. But yeah, time goes on. You at this point where we're going to start our tale, you're just about, done putting all the stuff away from Christmas. The decorations. There was no tree. I'm not sure if there really historically were trees in this period in England, but there was no tree. But there was certainly decorations. You notice that the family is very interested in, like, displaying the older ones. The stuff that's been passed literally through the centuries, and that's perhaps the only reason they have any festive decoration around and that kind of thing. And basically to show off to those few people who dare to visit, including their family. Otherwise, you're creeping towards New Year's. It's just about December 30th, a solemn day in the Malbane family. For this would have been Mortimer Malbane III's 90th birthday. Unfortunately, he's not here to share that with us. Okay. I get a little
Unfortunately, doing little air quotes here.
So yeah, that's where our adventure starts. So each of you, let's pick one of your chores, and I'm gonna see what's happening while you're doing that chore. Let's start with how about Miss Denker? What is your chore that you're doing this fine day?
I want to be cleaning the library.
Jesus. That Danker lives freaking dangerously as all heck. Yeah. So yeah, no, I forget. Has Danker been introduced to the Book of Blood in the secret room?
She's been introduced to the secret room and threatened by Mr. Reynolds with losing her position if she goes back into the secret room. But she's feeling pretty solidly established in the family. So I think or in the help. So I think she's cleaning the library on pretense of accessing the secret room. Because of course one must clean up the blood.
This is the way.
You still have your helper.
I do. Rufus is my helper still. What time is it? Is it like the middle of the day?
I'm gonna say about 11 in the morning.
Or evening? 11 in the morning. Well, I guess I won't task Rufus with going and digging up Mortimer's grave to make sure he's still there.
Does Rufus get paid enough?
Yeah, Rufus is... Yes, I make sure that Rufus is paid very well.
So, okay.
After all
Excellent.
that petty cash, surely he doesn't keep track of all of it.
So, you're cleaning out the thing. Okay, let's dust over here. Ooh, that's a lot of dust over there. Oh, my. Oh, that bookshelf definitely has some cobwebs on it. We should definitely take care of that. Oh, my. Oh, my. By Jove. This book is not like the others. What's... Oh, no! Oh, no, with the click and the opening of the... Oh, well, obviously that's a room I need to clean also. Type of thing. Yeah, so the door does open, and do you go in? Do you explore?
Oh, yes, of course, and I tell Rufus, alright, well, I should really clean this, but I know we've had some trying times, and you're welcome to just stand watch by the door if you'd like to. And I'll take care of this, and you just feel free not to enter the creepy secret room if you'd like.
Oh yeah, he's only too happy to not pop in there. And yeah, you kind of, it's a very short hallway, and suddenly you're in like a room that does have like for whatever reason a kind of constantly lit candle. You can kind of see it. Obviously, no one has been in here recently, but on this pedestal, this podium type of pedestal that's sitting there, on one corner of it, you have the candle that's just burning, providing at least a little light to the room. And you see the book. This is a thick book, the likes of the real old school, Bible type, with the illuminated illustrations by monks type of size and age looking to it. Age fine, you know what I mean. And it does seem to be exuding a substance that looks strangely like blood.
Gross. Gross. Well, I will sop up all the blood, and I, Philip, know what the book is, because it's just the family tree, right? Each page is a new generation of the family tree, or are there other things in there besides the family tree?
It's some other stuff, like in some other language, but yeah, the portions that it kind of has been flipped to have been family tree type stuff, yes.
Okay. Well, since I, Philip, know what it is, I would like to take special note of which names are crossed off on the current family tree.
Cool. And actually, since this is especially weird, go ahead and ignore the strange. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, this is not your everyday occurrence to see a book bleed. At least I hope not. If it is for you, please get out of the house. 3. All right. So you're kind of looking through, the page is open, and then it wants to settle on the page that you're talking about, and it does. And you see names crossed out here and there, and you get to see the name Simon circled, and then suddenly there's this tug at your skirt, and as you turn, you see Sarah. Have you met? Now, has Danker met Sarah before?
I have not. I don't believe I've personally spoken with her, but I have met her before.
And you know about her.
I think actually the last time I was in the library.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I know about her. They told me in very cryptic tones that she was dead,
Right.
but that she appeared to be living.
So she tugs at your skirt, and when you look over, she looks like again almost a spitting image of Alexandrina, but as you kind of turn to her, her eyes kind of sink in until they're black, and you see like the skin tightens, and you see the skull of her face, and the jawbone goes up and down and says, "You shouldn't be here." And we'll put a little pin in that as we hold on, and we see what Mr. Current is up to. What's Mr. Current doing?
Mr. Current is, it's about that time. It's heading towards the front of the house because, of course, the luncheon should be dropped off on the front step. And so I suppose I go to open the door and startle the delivery person who's in the middle of dropping it off, causing them to take several steps backwards, fall, and then just scramble on all fours through the mud towards the car that's starting to leave without them.
Yeah, and you can see that look of just terror as they are like, "Am I going to catch up to the car?" Look on their face.
And as they flee, I'm just like, "You don't want a tip?"
They do not. They don't want a tip. In fact, they just want to get the heck out of there. And this young boy who actually was tasked with putting the lunch in there, most terrified look you've ever seen on a person's face, and just scrambling, like the kind of scramble like you can't even get to your feet all at once because your feet are moving so fast that they're skidding out from underneath you in the mud. You're just desperately trying to push yourself up. That's what he's doing.
Obviously, somebody drew the short straw today.
Exactly. You see the car. He eventually catches up, running faster than any boy his age should be able to, and catches up, jumps in, and you're left with the luncheon, which I'm assuming are you carrying like to the dining room, that type of thing?
Yeah. That's basically what I figure I'm doing, have been doing, whatever. Collecting food from the hunt, I guess, taking it to the kitchen to stage it and probably to plate it or whatever, and then it goes from there out to the dining room. So,
right, and it probably comes in like several baskets, like two larger ones and another one or two that you can kind of like tuck under your arms. It's kind of like the bellhop that makes one trip, or me trying to bring all the stuff in from shopping and stuff. Just one trip. Make one trip. That's how it works. That's how it's done. There's the law of the universe. Yeah.
I've been that person. I've had to do that. I've earned nicknames as a result. And they used to call me the lugger monkey.
Used to.
I can't carry 20 full grocery bags on my arms up the stairs anymore.
That's okay. we still are happy to have you, and even lacking the ability to do that. That's cool. You're awesome. You have many other skills. And the laws of the universe do bend for that kind of
right.
Thing. So good job.
Like using bags of flowers as free weights, yes.
Exactly. So so you kind of bring that in there. I'm going to say that you kind of, as you stage things, you started bringing things out. You run into Electo, and she's become kind of like again, she's a member of the house, but she's seen as a member of the house by the family now, but she's still that, she'll always be the black sheep, that kind of thing, and yeah. But so she's a member of the household, but she hasn't forgotten where she's come from. So she's very much she actually helps you stage the stuff for Damien. As it so happens, Damien is just in like the last day of recovery from his last bout of trouble. So she's been kind of tending to him. This is like it's become like clockwork, and you specifically, Current, has seen like you've kind of had a closer relationship with Electo than others, where like you've seen like his troubles get cured a little faster because she's taking care of him and that kind of thing. So it's the last morning, so she'll be bringing or last lunch, and so she'll be bringing like the food up to him, and she kind of greets you with a smile, takes some of the stuff off your own staging and puts it on a platter to kind of bring up to him. A meal for herself also. She dines with him, which in these cases the family is only too happy with. But yeah, she just has kind of like a nice look for you. Again, you can always see when it's the last day, because she seems a little happier, etc. She kind of looks at you though, and she's like, Current, are you well? You seem just more pale than normal. Have you not been getting any sun?
Not that there's very much sun to get, but yes, especially with this weather, I've been feeling deathly ill. Still, keep a stiff upper lip, as they say.
She kind of breaks protocol and reaches out to you, and she'll touch your forehead with her palm if you let her.
Sure.
Yeah. Again, this is not normal. The staff is not touched by the household, and that kind of thing.
But Electra is special.
Yeah, she's definitely a different level, somewhere in between. But yeah, she kind of recoils as she touches you, and it's Current. It's like ice. You're not well.
I feel. It must be these old bones of mine that the cold has seeped in, spreading. I have not been feeling well for some time at all, but still, one does what one must do. Well, go and do the flexing the bicep and give her a wink.
And she's like, well, before Grandmama passed, she taught me a little potion. Perhaps I could make one up for you and bring it to you in the servants' area. Would that be all right?
Yes, that sounds lovely, actually. What sort of potion?
It strengthens the core, gives a little heat to the spirit. There's a little spirit in there, if you don't mind me telling you.
Yes.
Good for the constitution.
Well then. Hopefully is efficacious on me as it has been on your ancestors, but yes, but don't go out of your way and bother yourself with me. If you have anything else more important to do, please focus on that.
And she kind of leans into you. Can I tell you a secret, Current?
Absolutely. Your confidence is short with me.
Well, you're important to me too, but don't let it get out. The rest of the family wouldn't even understand. And then she kind of takes the tray, gives you a quick wink, walks away. And then we come to Mr. Reynolds. What's Mr. Reynolds doing? I think you might be muted.
Oh, no.
There you are.
Someone there to take care of it. I will be cleaning the attic workroom.
Of course you are. Oh,
I mean, someone has to keep it, dusted and the stuff, not burning on the Bunsen burners, and who knows what else he might have going on up there.
True. Yeah, so you kind of you're doing your thing, keeping it. Again, there's a good deal of dust that gathers up here too. Things to dust, things to move. You happen to notice, like under the chair where the mummified remains sit constantly, and it almost look. It's only the eye
Not
sockets
constantly.
are empty. not constantly, but it's like the eyes though empty sockets seem to follow you. And there's like you do notice that there's a good deal of dust under the chair. Like whoever else cleans up here kind of just doesn't do that part.
I mean, of course, I'll
Out
clean
of
under the
sight.
chair.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I mean,
Sight.
some could say the entire, attic is out of sight, out of mind for the most times, but. Is there any, I don't know, like book of notes or, anything up here that might need extra dusting?
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I might have to, take it back to my room to make sure it's very clean.
Oh, there is that. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm going to say yes, there is. It just so happens that it's a book that happens to be. You specifically remember this from the night when everything went to hell and the corpse was animated for a little while. It was a book that Nicodemus was reading from. And it just so happens that it's under the corpse's hand, laying on his lap. So I'm going to make you ignore the strange if you want to do that. Is that something you want to do?
I do want to do that.
All right. Roll plus composure, please.
Let's see. What is my composure? Yeah. What's the worst going to happen, Animated corpse.
What's the worst? Oh my. That's a 4.
That's a 4. No amount of prestige is going to help that.
So yeah, you're kind of like, ooh, that book looks interesting and rare and interesting.
And in need of dusting.
And most importantly, in need of dusting. And you're not one to shirk your duties, right? So yeah. So you kind of like, it's like your little fingers underneath the arm to kind of raise it, and the book slides out. It's not a thick book like the Book of Blood is. It's more like it's a thinner volume, but it's still like one of those old bound ones, with the raised spine and all. Oh, this was literally probably, done by like a monk, Trappist monk, bookmaker type of environment person there. Anyway, so the thing slides out, and then like you're bring your hand back, and you notice you can't because the hand is grasped onto your wrist. And what do you do?
Anything I can feed it handy. Like,
What's that?
Anything I can feed it away with, or break off the hand, or otherwise, freak
It was
out.
very hard to
and run.
hear you for a bit there. I think you were a bit too far from your microphone for half that. So,
How about now?
very good. You picked up halfway through, like we said, with the hand. So, but
Yeah, is there anything
So
I
what do
can
you do?
beat on the hand with, or break it off, or otherwise
that was-
defend myself against the grasping claws of the undead?
Yeah, that was all but inevitable. It just so happens that the book you now hold is nice and heavy, and a couple whacks on the forearm, it just cracks and breaks off. You hear like a little rip of parchment paper like skin, what remains there, And next thing you know, you still have the grasped hand on you, but now you're free and lying on your back on the ground, looking at the thing as it turns in its seat towards you. And we'll put a pin in
Okay.
that. And I'll come back to Miss Danker. So Miss Danker, actually take a point of trauma for me, please, for this whole incident.
No.
But Sarah, she does that. You don't belong here. What's your thing? What are you doing?
Well, you see, I do belong here because, begging your pardon, the family's not going to clean in here. And someone has to take care of all of this. I'm kind of still sopping up the blood with the rag, kind of trying to peek at the page and get a better glimpse. After all, if you think about it, you don't belong here because you're dead.
Oh, Danker has a set. As they say. You can see her, she kind of, her more deathly visage kind of breaks away and becomes more of the one that you're used to seeing. And she says, "You're right. You're also snooping. Are you hoping to find the name of the one that lives?"
Certainly. To be honest, I hadn't heard about that before, but if you'd like to show me the name of the one who lives, I'm certainly open to that.
You're already there. Look at the page and then leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at the page.
Yeah, you see the present family tree with the X's where they belong and that kind of thing.
Wait, who has X's? Because I don't actually know who's dead.
So the X's are on. Oh God! Oh, now you have to make me recount everything. Let's see here. So it's
Adam.
Adam. Let's see.
Scarlet.
Adam. Yeah, Scarlet is also crossed off. I think
Is
that's
Mortimer crossed off?
No.
Yeah,
if you
that's from the family.
If you look back at the pages before, the top person is never crossed off. If you glance at a earlier page, the name Mortimer Malbane was the one that's circled. Everyone else is crossed off except for the name on top.
Okay.
And the name circled on this page is Simon. Yes.
Okay. Before I leave, if you'll let me hazard a question, who the fuck is Simon?
He's the son of Mortimer that's been chosen to live.
By whom?
She kind of shrugs with that look on her face, that kiddish look that, I don't know, but absolutely does know.
Absolutely does know. And, where is he?
Time for you to go. You want to, you can try to guide their direction. She is technically a member of the household.
Ooh! Yes, I will guide their direction. And 7, that's a partial success, right?
Yep. Okay, so
7 to 9.
9, I consider a suggestion, but will follow it under certain conditions as selected by the master of the house. All right, so she kind of looks up to you from, her angle, and she tugs on the kind of like the sleeve of your shirt to kind of pull you down towards her, so as to whisper in your ear. Like, if I tell you, you can never come back in this room. Do you understand? Like, Simon's already here. Now go.
That doesn't answer my question.
She turns you and shuffles you out of the room, unless you're going to resist.
A deal's not binding if you don't hold on to your part of the agreement. That's all I'm saying, Lady Sarah.
What was the actual question again?
I guess I did technically ask where's Simon, but I'm still saying that because I'm unreasonable.
That is perfectly acceptable. But yeah, she will kind of like shuttle you out of the room, and the door closes behind you, and outside is like Rufus, and he sees like from outside where he's standing watch, like at the end of one of the bookcases that looks into where the entrance is. He sees like the little girl framed by the darkness of the room behind, and then the door closes shut with her still inside. And like, yeah, he's lost a year of his life already just working here.
Sorry, Rufus. Let's get out of here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Current. I'm gonna do after this. We'll all join together, but I want to give you your own little scenes. So yeah, Current. Where are you going after your thing? The kids, as usual, kind of come on through, and the lunch, at least on this day, isn't formal, and people just kind of grabbing things as they come. The children are playing through the kitchen and whatnot. All three of them, Malachi, Alexander, and Alexandrina, and they kind of see you, and they play that. They're playing some kind of, cops and robbers game, and Alexander does the boom boom, I got you.
I am going to dramatically clutch my chest, lean over a bit, and go, "Oh, you got me right in the heart. I fear that I will not be able to carry on. Please, before I go, promise me that you will surrender, dirtbag!" And then I'll stand up and I'll point finger guns right back at him.
Yeah. So as you're kind of doing that, that's when Delilah walks in, and she's like, "I heard that, Current. If you think you're dying on us again and expecting to get full pay, you're wrong. I'm here to tell you, man."
Dying? Nope, not today, miss. And then I'll go and blow the imaginary smoke away from my finger guns and motion like I'm holstering it. It's like, oh, everything here seems in order. Carry on, Master Alexander. Wink.
The kids kind of like continue past on into like the dining room and beyond, and do their thing, and you see Sarah at your side as they leave, and she's like, "We have a snooper."
Is Delilah still around?
No, she's left at this point. She stuck her head in long enough to explain that you
Yeah.
were not getting paid if you're going to die.
We have a what?
That maid of yours, she's been snooping the book. Things are going to get dangerous tonight. We might actually need a good snooper like her. So keep her close.
She does have a way of getting everywhere. It's kind of uncanny, actually. Just when you least expect it, there she. Wait! Oh, tonight? What's going on?
More to tell on that. But I'm going to meet with the three of you in the servants' quarters later. Can you meet me before sunset and gather the others?
I will do my best.
And she nods and then kind of like just walks out one of the doors, and immediately Bartholomew comes in, did not cross paths with her, and says, anything else for the lunch, or is that what we have out there?
Believe that was all that was brought, but still might peckish. You can give me a moment, I'll see what else there is in the larder.
Good man. And he kind of ducks back out. So let's let's see Reynolds. So yeah, you're on the floor on your back, doing the reverse, what do you call it? Reverse crab crawl, if you will. The body turns in its seat, but doesn't rise, and kind of leans forward. And every time it moves, it's like, you know how like when you have like tight leather, like on a case or something, and you move it, there's that like that you can hear everything tightening up. That's what you hear. Plus you hear like the crackle of like, it sounds like bones underneath, like it's like, you know, these joints with sand in them almost. Well, probably exactly what they are. The thing turns, and you'll actually also take a point of trauma at this. It's, why you taking my book?
Wait, last time.
You cut it out there. We didn't hear anything of that.
Last time?
I'm sorry, you're still cutting out real bad. I'm sorry about that. No, it's really, really faint.
No, not.
Sorry about that.
It might be your automatic voice activity level detection, which would be in your settings if that needs tweaking.
How about that?
Oh, wow, that's perfectly clear.
That's good.
Yeah, that's better.
And that could be old. So anyways, did we hear him talking previously?
No,
No.
he made no sounds previously out of his mouth.
You know, if all else fails, lie. I was hoping to find some way to heal Lord Mortimer. He was shot and buried.
He reaches out with his last hand. He only gets two. And this, like, again, it's like this clawed hand, like the you know, the skin is long since dried, so that it peeled back from the fingernails that were there, and it just it gestures at the book. Open to the mark. So there is a what looks like at first it looks like a sigil that takes up the entire page, but it's actually like let's see here. I'm gonna say it's like a bunch of circles, about a dozen of them, joined with various lines linking them together and moving around with other symbols kind of in between them. Find a large floor. Draw the sigils in the blood of an animal.
I have to say it. Will the blood of a horse do?
A horse, it's an animal.
And as his like his one remaining hand lowers and he kind of turns back in his seat. Some of the dirtiest of animals, they will do. Sits back and then becomes as lifeless as he was before.
So as I sit up and sort of scramble to the door, I turn back and say, and this is to bring him back, right?
It doesn't. It ceased to be at this time. Yeah. So you're gonna leave with the book? Get the hell out of there now that
I'm gonna leave with the book.
Oh, what do you do? I gotta know, what are you doing with the hand?
Oh, I still have it. Does it have any rings?
Does it have any ring? It does indeed have a ring with an emerald on it.
Then I take the hand.
Oh god, that gets wrapped up in a towel somewhere. Nice.
My other pilfered belongings.
Such as they are. So yeah, from there we'll cut to the servants' quarters. If Current puts out the notice, will you be meeting him there? Denker and Reynolds. Denker and Reynolds,
Sure, yeah.
This fall.
And where are we meeting? Conservatory or
The servants' quarters area. Servants'
The
hall.
the servants general, the servants common room.
So, assuming you're meeting there, there's it's again sun is just about setting. It's hard to tell with all the cloud cover and whatnot, but there's just enough clearance where you can actually visibly see that line on the wall where, with the windows where the sun's going down and it's getting, lower on the horizon, and therefore the shadows going higher and higher inside. You guys are kind of just hanging out there, doing your thing, and that's when Sarah turns a corner from one of the other doors, walks in, and just kind of stands there, looks at the three of you for...
I think you're all wondering why I've gathered you here. Actually, I didn't gather you, it was her.
Oh, hello again.
She kind of looks towards Denker and goes, "Read any good books lately?"
I was interrupted, but I was hooked.
Yes. What's hooked? That's actually very apropos.
It's like I have a good book.
Oh.
Do you actually like raise it up?
Yeah, I'll just sort of just maybe tap my chest pocket of like maybe a little project for later.
She's like, tonight's the night. Tonight is a very dark night. And there's only 3 of you.
It's not that tonight. It's not that dark yet.
Oh, it will be. It will be. She pulls a Yoda on you. But she kind of looks at each of you appraisingly in turn. She's like, usually there's more of you. There's only 3 of you this time around. But I'm bound to determine that this will be the time. This will be the time it all ends.
What will end?
What is all ending?
Like, well, the Malbane family, of course. As it does every time the patriarch turns 90.
But
There are
it's
employers.
my understanding that
Well, if you're determined for it all to end, but it all ends every time, what's different this time?
Well, this time maybe not the entire family has to die. Save the one.
what exactly is going on? What?
You've all wandered around. You've all seen the family. You've seen the book. She kind of looks at Danker as she says that. Then turns to the others. The book that bleeds. You've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen this so many times. And this time, this family, I was bound and determined to save. The others couldn't even see me. But I saved up every bit of energy, every bit of spirit that I had, and I appeared to them. And I'm here for them. And with your help, perhaps, they don't all have to die tonight.
So you said the one, but like, if they all die every time Mortimer, the head, reaches 90, isn't? And I sort of look, isn't Mortimer dead? How do they start over?
She looks towards Reynolds.
Do you just choose a new family and like start anew?
Says, there's only been one patriarch of the Malbane family for the past 1,000 years. Just one.
Oh, I know Mortimer is old. I didn't think he was that old.
He's not. He's not. It's like there's a ritual that'll be conducted tonight. There's a book. There's a book that's held by that old mummy upstairs in the attic. It tells how to set the ritual. Once that ritual is
This one?
complete, you've actually managed to shock the ghost. Like,
I was
yes,
dusting
that's
it and I just came across it.
That's exactly what happened to me moments ago. I too
Oh my
was
God.
dusting a book, and then
stuff happens when you dust books.
it's incredible.
This
It's
is
amazing.
why both of you were dusting books while I was busy dealing with lunch by myself.
And yes, we are aware that you do not clean.
Oh, shade is thrown. I think. Do we have to hit some innuendo on that one?
No, that's
I
just
think so.
clear.
Uh,
I'm not
fair enough.
referencing a confirmed secret of any sort. He just doesn't clean.
Well, you don't have to have a confirmed secret to cast innuendo. If you want to get some
True.
prestige or something.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
Let's do it. Roll plus secret.
I rolled 2 1s already. Can I do it again? No.
Even with the -1 for guessing without a secret, that's still a 10.
Yeah, sorry about that. I will gain a prestige, and I will roll with something extra against them for the next scene, just in case.
Nice. Good call. Excellent. So it's like Sarah's like, yeah, yes, that book that you dusted. There's a ritual in there that is conducted tonight, and it must begin, but it must not end. At the end, the life force of all Malbane family members are sucked out of them. The spirit, the being of the patriarch, is then passed on to a selected son and put in them. And then the same patriarch starts the family anew. Everyone else dies.
What happens to the son? I mean, Bartholomew, Damien, do they die too?
They have not been selected. The one who is selected ceases to be, and
His name's
the
Simon?
patriarch takes over. Yes.
Wait, so Bartholomew himself will continue to be... No, not Bartholomew. I apologize. I'm still new.
I'm still new.
Lord Mortimer will continue to be the patriarch?
For as long as the ritual
This Simon
continues
person
to
will
end.
die, and then Mortimer will become Simon?
The Simon will cease to be in their mind, and Mortimer will take his place.
Now, wait a second. Mortimer's not dead?
I thought Mortimer was dead.
Then who's buried out back?
And buried?
Mortimer isn't even his name, just this name. He'll be Simon after this ends. But we mustn't let it.
Then why don't we...
What is his actual name then? This is giving me a headache. I didn't read anything about this in Varney the Vampire.
I guess that would be less staff to take care of, but or less family members to take care of, but that doesn't sound like a good way to lighten our workload.
Think how much digging that would be. So, answer me this. Everett, was Everett a previous chosen person that was then taken over by Mortimer?
This one learns quick.
Who was Everett?
Everett's
The
the
baby.
child.
The child.
The child Mortimer.
Everett was who I locked in with the chef when I first tried to kill Mortimer, but it didn't work.
Got it.
So was Nicodemus just another victim, or is Nicodemus the original?
The original, the patriarch, is Matthew. He continued on through Nicodemus. Nicodemus was an alchemist, and he was the first volunteer.
I don't understand these Malbanes at all. Why do we have to start the ritual?
Because that is when the spirit of the patriarch is at its most vulnerable. once it begins, it has to end. If it doesn't end, as it should, that spirit won't carry on. Now, you're staff, and certainly the Malbanes have treated you poorly, but I'm certain you don't want them all slaughtered.
Certainly not all of them.
I'm quite fond of Electro myself.
Yes, I am also fond of Electo.
But, I guess it's a Malbane now. If in marriage.
Lord Damien isn't that helpful.
Lord Damien is occasionally problematic, but otherwise very well behaved.
Yes.
So I think we're in agreement. We don't want the entire family killed.
Correct.
But
The children are absolutely delightful.
you know,
Alexander shot me to death today? And then Delia came out and said, I'm not allowed to die while I'm on payroll.
I flipped to the diagram. Nicodemus wanted me to draw this somewhere. Is this the start of the ritual?
Oh, and she looks towards you. You mean the corpse? That's the original Mortimer the First.
Oh, okay.
But yes, if he talked to you, and I'm sorry for that, conduct the ritual. Find the largest room here. Paint what you need to on the floor. Let the ritual begin, but don't let it end. Disrupt it somehow.
You're both pretty good with weapons. Could you lend me a hand? I was told I needed the blood of an animal, and I'm afraid I just don't have the stomach to do it myself. But neither of you seem to have a problem killing things.
You would be surprised. I can't abide killing animals.
Do I look like the chauffeur? Really? Where is she anyway? She would actually be useful at this moment.
Then, you know, I understand, Miss Danker. Maybe I will have. The Mortimer the First was very specific on it needing to be an animal that was used to draw such awfully precise diagrams. I don't know if I'll be able to get that, but, well, we'll be close.
We'll be close. Lady Sarah, since this is of such utmost importance, perhaps you would like to be a little bit less circumspect? More circumspect? Less circumspect? My English is not so very good, despite being born in England. Anyway, maybe a little bit more forthright about this Simon fellow. You said he is here. It seems a pretty easy way to disrupt the ritual would be to kill him once the ritual starts. So, where is he? Is he the gardener?
Is he the gardener? Oh, you already took a piece of him. Or I suppose Damien did.
I was going to say the gardener's been here the longest that I know of.
Yeah.
Of the
The
staff.
chef has been here for very long, but the chef is dead.
Yeah. So she kind of looks at you, and she looks like she's trying to speak. She's like... And then, fades. She isn't there anymore.
Convenient.
Frickin' ghosts, man.
I don't know about you, but the gardener scares me more than most of the other Malbanes.
See, that's what I thought about the chef until I realized that the chef is also staff, or was, up until, I guess, Matthew killed him. And the gardener did try to help us bury Mortimer. So, I suppose while you go track down Petunia,
I never said it was Petunia that needed to be killed, but that is a great idea.
I know you're not sensible enough to come up with that idea by yourself, but yes, I will supply the brains as per usual, and you can just supply whatever it is that you supply. I'm definitely innuendoing.
Right, go for it. Innuendoing, that's a verb now.
Innuendoing.
Or an adverb, I suppose.
Yeah.
No, wait. Verb. Oh my.
Well, I don't think I have enough prestige to make that a success. Oh well.
I don't think so either. So I'm going to have you lose a prestige then.
No. Yes, that was bad.
So you'll lose a prestige, and I will give. I think I'm going to give Reynolds like something extra with you for the rest of this scene.
Okay, cool.
Which is not a long scene, but still, fair enough.
Well, Current, can you lend us a hand as we go look for the gardener?
Could I perhaps maybe lend a hand looking for Petunia instead?
I would much rather have him help with Petunia. Petunia is so heavy and so hard to deal with on a good day, let alone when being threatened with, perhaps a battle axe and imminent death.
Well, I don't think it'll be a battle axe if I roll well on this roll.
That's actually that's a question. What did end up happening with the axe I left behind when I fled the cultist?
It's probably in my bedroom, yeah.
Yeah, let's say it's there. Yeah, along with your muddy form that ended up there.
Oh, you're trying to direct him away from me, aren't you?
I am, and I just succeeded.
Ooh, what do we do?
Well...
Is this that maid one, the lend a hand?
Yes, the lend a hand one.
Yes.
I persuaded him successfully.
Yeah, I forget what the heck that does. It's
I
a
think
really cool one.
Yeah, I like it very much. I think I'd like a prestige back, and perhaps we'll roll with something extra to complete the work of finding the gardener.
Okay. Sounds good. And now I need. Okay, so let's see. When serving the house, so help you or persuasion. Okay, they help you and they choose, and you may choose. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Then the least you could do if Mr. Curran is going to help is lend me the strong arms of Rufus there, and a good serviceable weapon from your supply.
From your supply.
Certainly. Rufus, you're in charge of the battle axe. Swing it at whatever Mr. Reynolds tells you to swing it at, except for Lady Electo, Lord Damien, or myself.
It's my axe. Better not be swung at me either.
You can take that into consideration if you so choose, Rufus.
That's a good one. Oh shit, that was actually pretty sweet. All right. Okay, so remind me, I'm losing track. Who's going where?
Rufus is going with Reynolds to go find and kill Petunia, the battle axe. And Current and I are going with something extra to find the gardener and determine who Simon is. Although I just remembered that the gardener is not very good at speaking. Oh well, it'll work out.
All right.
Gardener is not very eloquent.
Yes, he's not. Yeah, he is not. He is not. A Shakespearean theater company alum or anything like that, for certain. But since we're near a couple of new scenes here, let's do our halfway break. We're already there. Wow. Time is flying.
Oh, wow, this is flown.
Yeah, I did not even see it coming, but there we are. So let's take our 10. When we come back, we'll put this into play, do the thing, and I'm hoping to have some extra time left over just to talk about Bedlam Hall and what you guys thought about it, and that kind of good stuff. So anyway, take your 10. We'll see you then, and we'll do the thing.
Cool.
Be right back. Okay, and we are back from break. Cool. So let's see. So let's start off with Current and Denker. You're going out on the grounds to find the groundskeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to take the lead and actually do the go out on the grounds roll? Who's kind of leading
I'll
the
do the
expedition,
roll
if you
since
will?
I roll with something extra.
Cool.
All right. All right, that's an 8.
All right.
Good thing, too.
Let's see.
Otherwise, that would be a 3.
Something to be terrified of.
All right. Let's see here. Well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's do that. So, you were kind of guiding the two of you out on the grounds. You probably just having worked there and catching glimpses of the gardener, the groundskeeper from doing your own chores, the windows. He seems to go on like a circuit. It seems like he does this day, that day, this the other day. So this day is when he's like cleaning weeds next to the house. You always see him with this big wheelbarrow and a rake and a hoe and that kind of thing. His own little hand hoe now, hand hoe, to do the things. And it doesn't take you long, but it's basically as you're kind of like turning a corner of the building, he's like snapping this really large, like viney growth that's since died from the side of the house, and it clips you, Stephanie, in the face. You'll take a point of trauma. But you will find it.
Great.
As you're kind of, rubbing your wound, that kind of thing, he kind of sees the two of you, and, what are you doing out here?
Yes, we're, looking for Simon.
He looks to you, Current, like this questioning look, raised eyebrow. What do you do?
And there's a lot going on right now, it seems, and I'm trying to get it all sorted out, and Miss Denker here seems to have a plan. Requested my assistance, but she says we need to get hold of Simon. And it was believed that you would be the most likely one to know where Simon is and to be able to direct us.
He kind of looks between the both of you again. It's almost as if you don't all speak the same language, which is probably correct. And he is, Simon. Baby. Oh, baby. We'll give way. Give way. No, Simon.
When Simon was a little baby, you gave him away? Or was he taken away?
He kind of he's confused, he can't quite, it's like he can't grasp, there's a difference.
Do you know where Simon is now?
Out there? Not here? I don't know.
Do you know where Simon was taken when he was a little baby?
In town.
Somewhere in town? Person's name, perhaps?
No.
No. And when did this happen?
I can't hear you, Scott.
We can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Is your microphone hardware muted? Nope. Zero audio.
Can you hear us still? No. Can we hear each other? I can hear Steve and Jason.
I can hear you speaking. Can we hear each other?
Yeah, I can hear everybody
hear the players.
except. Okay. Nothing from you, Scott. Did your mic get unplugged? It happened in the middle of talking.
All right. Can you hear me now? Okay, I still can't hear you. Do some talking again for me, please. That's weird. All right, hold on. Sorry, that's my technical difficulties. Oops. We're so close. All right, talk for me again, please. That's not great. All right, let's do this. Hold tight, hold tight. All right. Close.
You knew I didn't like
Hi, how you
I
doing?
don't think we were supposed to.
Now
I
you're
think
back.
that was all part of
Are we back?
Yep. Yeah, I'm taking.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. All right.
And you guys
if
can hear me
anybody-
okay?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And you can hear us fine?
If anybody
Yes.
here is named Michael, please raise your hand. All right, that concludes the mic check.
Oh, God. That's horrible. Oh, my God. I took trauma just hearing that one. That's horrible.
That's okay. You did point them to the town where they have to, there's only a town of 1,000 people, less 500. Shouldn't be hard to find a Simon there.
Yeah, that's all in a day's work.
Of course, the ritual's supposed to start tonight, right?
Right, but so here's the question. I guess we would have to come back together and talk about this, yeah?
I guess.
Yep. Let's put a
guess.
pin in that then for the moment.
If only I wasn't in charge of, coming up with the ingredients this evening myself. Oh, wait, I do have Rufus to help.
Fair enough. All right, so let's put a pin in that, and let's see what Rufus and Reynolds are doing. What are you doing?
I think I'm following the trail of destruction in the house to find Petunia.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long
Usually
before
it's,
you hear
the
the
rugs, shoved aside, flowers strewn about,
right.
that may have been fresh, a day ago.
Yeah, you kind of follow the carnage, and it doesn't take too long before you hear the clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop.
I cringe every time I hear the clippity clop. Like, Petunia's done a number on me more than once.
This is a true story.
That's not for who the clippity clops. The clippity clops for thee.
In this case, it may be true. So, so describe the scene, Reynolds. You and Rufus are walking. You're carrying a battle axe. Is that so?
Oh, no. Rufus has the battle axe.
Rufus has a battle axe.
Now, I'll distract Petunia, and you give her a good swing when she's distracted. Got it? This is important for the house, Rufus. You must succeed at this.
Where do I whack her?
Oh, that battle axe is quite big. It shouldn't matter.
Oh my goodness.
Somewhere between the head and the tail would do.
Nice. So,
don't feel afraid if to take another swing if you need to.
So Petunia, turns the corner and comes into view, and she has like little colored bows in her mane. Kind of ties it up there, all nice and cute. And you actually hear Rufus go, "Aww."
Petunia, it's time for your meal. And I'm holding a bouquet of carnations or something.
Is Rufus trying to hide the battle axe behind himself or something like that? It's like completely 100% possible.
Possible.
Yeah, you see Petunia kind of looks towards you, looks towards Rufus, looks
Come on,
back towards
they're
you.
fresh. I guess I'm trying to guide their direction.
Yeah, let's start with that. She is a member of the household. All right, yeah, try. Let's see how this goes. This is step 1. So, roll plus persuasion. I did not see this one coming.
At least she won't either.
Good one. Is that actually a 9?
It is actually. Let's make it a 10. I will spend a prestige.
All right. Well, and you gain a prestige. A slight
gain a
loophole in the
prestige.
system, but good nonetheless. We can work with that. So, yeah. So she kind of approaches, slowly, kind of like reaches out with the lips. You know how horses do that. To try to grab the.
I'll give her one, and then just a taste, so she doesn't just grab the whole bouquet and run.
Yeah, and she keeps doing that where she kind of reaches out her neck, And I'm going to have, since Rufus is an NPC, I'm going to have you serve the house, Mr. Reynolds. And
That
let's
makes sense.
see. This definitely is going above and beyond your duties.
I mean, I am serving the house. The overall goal of this is, at the request of a somewhat alive house member.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Only -1. How bad could this go? Hey, that's much better than I expected.
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is fine. I don't need to make that a 10. Serve the house is pretty flexible on the 7 and 9 or 10.
Yep. Do you want to gain a prestige or get
I
something extra?
will gain
just-
a prestige.
Okay. Yeah. I was just about to say, like, after this set of scenes, this is the end of the scene. So just putting it out there. Excellent. All right. So,
So as I keep on making sure that neck gets stretched out a little bit more each time, I sort of give Rufus the look like this is I'm running out of flowers.
Rufus is, you can see it look in his eyes, like he right before he brings up that axe, like off to the side where hopefully she can't see it, but she's a horse with eyes on the side. Yeah, he's like, I always wanted one like this, and then whoop. And so the camera angle is shooting, like, if you will, from just in front of like Petunia's area towards you. So all we see is Rufus is, you see the axe go down in front of the camera, and then some blood splatters up onto Reynolds's face and chest, and then there's like a thump.
And I think the last thing you see is Rufus carefully dabbing the blood away, because he's always wearing a little bit of makeup, but he has a smile on his face.
Rufus or Reynolds?
Reynolds. Sorry.
Reynolds. It's too funny. It's just like this youthful look. It's weird wherever it hits. Yeah, that's a whole nother campaign right there, though. So, all right, excellent. After this, I will basically say you guys are meeting up, I suppose. This is your meetup. Are you going to show up with like
I show up with
a large flower vase filled with stuff?
I believe it's... Where did we find Petunia? Where did we finally catch up with her?
I'm
just looking for inspiration here.
Yeah, it would have been one of the hallways, probably not too far outside the conservatory.
So I will say it is a large decorative bowl that people might remember used to have, like, some sort of, what would that bowl have held? Hallway, conservatory.
Probably conservatory is also a performance area, like decorative fruit, wax fruit type of thing.
Yep. Which is now like just strewn over the table where the bowl was obtained.
Right, exactly. So you're
and it's covered with a like a towel.
So you're in the servants' quarters. There's a bowl present, a large bowl with a towel over the top. When Current and Danker get there, what do you do? This is your thing from here.
Supplies have been acquired.
All right then.
How was your trip to the gardener?
It was less than successful. Rufus,
Danker.
did you grow up in the town?
Miss Danker had to face the truth, and it was rather painful.
Oh dear, what? I would think Miss Danker facing
no
anything would be
idea
rather painful.
I don't think I understand what he's talking about.
That's all right. But apparently we have a lead on where to locate Simon.
Yes.
But not
Rufus.
much of one.
Rufus.
Yes, Rufus is like you can tell he's like still like in shock from what he just had to do, and there's you can like though he's cleaned up, there's like this dab of blood just on his cheek.
I'm gonna take my apron and just on his face. Rufus. There's work to be done. Listen. Rufus. Did you grow up in the town?
Yeah, I did. I grew up in this town. Yeah.
Did you ever hear tell of a foundling child that was raised?
Like by
Okay.
wolves?
He kind of
No,
like looks towards you like he doesn't understand what foundling is. Like,
Okay. A a a child that was adopted.
oh, I mean, that happens, Miss Danker. There've been more than a few in the town for one reason or another. Out of wedlock births. You have the grandmother, the mother then raises them as their own, and it gets strange. But yes, it happens.
Uh,
What
Mortimer's
Any of that in your background?
was the question?
Any of that in your background?
Oh, you're asking me if I'm one of them foundlings. I mean, not that I've been told.
Mortimer's 90. Do we know? Uh,
But how old is
I'm not
Simon
even.
supposed to be?
Yes, I'm not even sure the words, but how old he was the last time, or the last person he took over? Maybe an inspection of the portraits in the hall to figure out, or another view of the book. I mean, this person could be 60, 70, 5, or like 5 years old. We don't we need a little bit more?
Well, it has to be somebody who is in the house. Because Lady Sarah said that Simon was here already. So Simon couldn't have been the chef because the chef is dead and the chef was alive for 100 years. Simon couldn't have been the gardener because the gardener knew who Simon was. We know who Alexander is. We know who Electo's son is.
I mean, Alexander and
So
Alexandrina are
there are
twins,
only.
obviously.
Are you saying I might
So
be a
there are only three
Malbane?
other. Well, it's either you or Reynolds or Current, because those are the only men left in the house who aren't Simon, or who aren't named that we already know.
Well, Miss Danker, if I
Can
happen
I?
to become a Malbane, I certainly wouldn't treat you badly.
You're saying I could be like royalty, right?
Well, if you consider the Malbanes royalty, yes.
They have more money than me.
Look for? Yes. Can I do everything in its place to see if I can notice a resemblance to the Malbanes in any of their faces? Or I don't know what that would qualify as.
That's interesting.
Or just do any of them look like a Malbane?
I mean, you aren't quite sure what Mortimer might have looked like in his youth. You really never seen any pictures of him, so it could. I mean, just looking at any of them, it could be any of them.
They all look like they might be siblings of Damien or Bartholomew. They have that resemblance.
I mean, there's no. I want to say there's no real distinguishing marks at the moment. But yeah.
Who was Bartholomew's mother. Because Bartholomew's like 47.
Yeah, he was born
That-
from Chastity.
Oh, that was from Chastity? Okay.
Yeah, the Mortimer's
Yeah,
first wife.
both of them. Yeah, all
both
of them
from
were
Chastity.
born from Chastity except Adam.
So that would be Bartholomew and Damien, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like,
So I can't imagine who it would be besides one of the three of you. Where did you come from, Reynolds?
Where did you come from? My mother?
I assume a woman and a man. I mean, I'd like to call them my parents if that's okay with you. To my knowledge, they're my parents.
All right. Well, here's the way to stop the ritual that I can. We start it, and then we kill all of you, and then the ritual won't continue.
That sounds like a horrible idea. Horrible.
I agree.
I mean,
It
he
sounded
might already
better
be
in my
dead,
head
but
before-
I'm attached to my life.
Yes, once it... Oh, that's true, so it can't be Current. Current, you can stick around. Anyway, it sounded worse coming out than it did in my head, so we'll
It
table
does
that
not
idea.
sound like a good idea in any circumstances. You're like, in order to save lives, we must end lives.
Yes, well, that's what I did with Mortimer.
What
That's
are you,
I
some
did.
general in the Great War and not actually a maid after all?
Mr. Current, all of us common folk are generals in the Great War.
Yes, generally screwed over.
Fair enough. The book. What does the book say the rich has to do? We'll just stop whatever the next step is.
So there's this diagram, and we're supposed to find the biggest room in the house, which I would have to assume is the Great Hall. So we'll have to clear the rugs and such, and start drawing. And I assume that has like north, pointed on here somewhere, and
There's nothing else. That's it. Once we draw it, it's done.
no, I think that's needed for whatever next steps. I assume Mortimer would show up at some point and as well as the rest of the family. And you said something about cultists the other day. What was that about?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
I'm not
they're
sure.
involved.
They surrounded me. Yes, probably they are, but I don't know what they get out of it since they just live in the woods. Congratulations, you get to live. You live forever, and in exchange, we squat on your land. I don't know.
Maybe that's where he chooses the new family. Weird.
This is bizarre. We need to tell Lady Electa. We need to get the rest of the family in on this and talk with them about it.
Should I start on the drawing then? If the ritual has to be started.
Yeah, well, I guess. Wait, but perhaps... How do we know that we can trust Sarah?
She just confirmed what Mortimer the First told me to do. Or do you mean trust her about stopping the ritual?
Yes. Or starting the ritual in the first place. It seems like all the dead Malbanes want the ritual to happen, right? Because the first Mortimer told you to start the ritual, and he's dead. And then Sarah told us to start the ritual, and she told me not to be in the room with the book, so she was trying to hide something and then decided to tell us something.
It's not my place to question the family members when they ask me to do something. Is that something you make a habit of, Miss Stacker?
Well, let me ask you this. If Lord Mortimer shows up and says, "Oh, by Jove, Reynolds, I'm glad you're here and starting the ritual. How about you help me finish the ritual and make sure that nothing happens to stop the ritual? Will you help Lord Mortimer?"
There's a limit to.
Yes, exactly. Don't act like you're all high and mighty and you're not trying to make choices. That we're doing the best with what we have. Okay, we each pick and choose our favorite family members to live. And Lord Mortimer quite long enough, and I think Lady Sarah has also lived quite long enough, or died quite long enough. I don't know.
Wasn't it just a few minutes ago you were choosing which of the staff you want to live at the end of this? I really would. I am attached to living, even if it's working here.
It was an ill-advised. It was an ill-advised. Who's to say that Simon actually is here? Maybe Simon is just here in spirit, and
The cook was downstairs for how long before we knew about him?
A very long time.
I do have one question about this. Does Simon have to actually be on site? Does Simon have to actually be in the house for this to be done? Or is it possible that Simon is from outside the house but will be brought to the house?
One of the cultists, perhaps?
In time for this ritual to happen. It may very well be that as we learn that Simon was adopted off or carried off somewhere into the nearby town, and perhaps is still there until this very night when they've been invited, or perhaps some black-robed hoodlums kidnap him and bring him here or something.
Well, Lady Sarah said that he was here already.
He was here already. Huh.
Yes, I asked her where he is, and she said he's here.
When did she say that?
This morning.
Maybe
Right when you were picking up the luncheon?
Is Simon perhaps the delivery boy?
It's about that time that Alexandra and Alexandrina turn the corner into the quarters. Like, what kind of ghost stories are you telling?
The true kind.
Those aren't true. Ghost stories aren't real.
Oh, really? And I'm gonna look at Current very pointedly.
So what are you doing?
We're getting started on some decorations. Would you like to help?
Oh, we would love to. Oh, what kind of decorations are there? For the new year?
Yes. In preparation for the new year, some very detailed drawings in the Great Hall on the floor. Care to watch?
That sounds perfect. Alexander's like, that sounds like interesting fun. And Alexandrina's like, oh, that's the best idea. I'll go get Petunia. I just put bows in her hair this morning and she's gorgeous. I want her to be there with us and she can help out. I'll go find her.
You look
You
for
do
her,
that.
and I'll get started.
Okay, and Alexander's like right behind you. He's like, I'm ready to assist. You can tell he's bored out of his gourd, or he would not be helping you in any way, shape, or form.
So I will, and I look to you, Danker and Current, and like, do you wish to help, or are you going to try and track down the boy?
I guess I can try to track him down.
Yeah, I mean, that's still our task, right? That's still what I asked him to lend a hand with, because I never actually rolled to serve the house. So I guess we have to go look for the boy and actually bring him back to complete that task.
Well, Current, you do know that the same group, the same team is going to be delivering for dinner very shortly.
Perfect.
Hmm.
How convenient.
Oh, man.
Do we know where Sarah is at the moment?
Do we know what?
Where Sarah is at the exact moment?
No, she's around. She's not visible to you at all.
I suppose that's our best bet.
Okay. So Reynolds is going to be painting the floor red, as it were, with Alexander.
Yes.
All right. And Current and
I'd like
Denker,
to
are you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just establishing what you're doing. So you're going to be waiting for the delivery folk?
Yes, while we're waiting to kidnap the delivery boy, that's confirming all of the town's worst fears about the house. I would like to be, if Reynolds will allow it, glancing through the ritual book as they move the furniture and rugs and stuff in the Great Hall, just to try to see if there's more information about the steps, so that we can know when the ritual ends and what steps we could disrupt.
Yeah, seems.
Is there a description of that? Okay, cool.
I mean, I just looked at the diagram. I didn't actually read anything in the book.
Yeah. So I wanna try to read stuff in the book.
Gotcha.
So Scott, any illumination on things that we could do to disrupt the ritual, or things that have to happen for the ritual to continue?
Yeah, I mean, most of it seems written in some kind of arcane language that you don't recognize. However, I'm going to say that I'm trying to remember where it was left, but you do, as you kind of go to another page, you do see a picture of this necklace with the bauble on it. And it strikes you as I forget, in out of character class, I forget where it ended up, but it was used during the wedding. It was given as a protection from evil type of thing. And I'm drawing.
Oh, that's mine.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, I have that.
Oh, you do have that. Okay. So,
unless Mortimer and the cultists took it when they grabbed me, but
no,
it was not. I wasn't holding it out or anything. It was just tucked in my clothes.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you're wearing it, you still have it, certainly.
Okay.
And you've been school trained and that kind of thing. There's enough Latin that you remember to kind of decipher at least a couple words under it. And it's something like touch with family blood is the best you can get out of it.
Would you say touch with family blood?
Yeah, touch with family blood. And then the script goes back to that weird, crypto-archaic language that is not very understandable.
I'm going to check it to make sure that it doesn't have any blood on it.
It does not. It is bloodless.
All right. So, what time is it?
It is it's after sundown now, definitely. It's getting towards, again, it's hard to tell with all the cloud cover and stuff, but the clock on the wall would probably say around 7:30 or 8. Or probably I'll say 7:30 because dinner is arriving.
Okay. So we have a bit of an issue. So this protection from
evil charm that Lady Electo gave me. I don't know how she has it when she wasn't a member of the family originally. Regardless, this charm is in the ritual, and it's supposed to be touched with the family blood for the ritual to continue. So, seems the easiest way to disrupt the ritual would be for this charm not to be here.
Well,
I mean, I suppose I could leave, or put it in a lockbox.
I
and
suppose
hide
I
it in
could
the
have
kitchen.
believed it.
Not sure.
Oh, shit. Oh my god. That's so danker. That's so on brand.
are you sure that's what it's meant to do?
Well, it says touch with family blood.
Maybe. I
So,
mean, you wanted to talk to Electo anyways. Perhaps you should ask where she got it, and maybe if she knows anything about it.
Fair. Yes, I will go talk with Electo.
All right. Let's see here. Reynolds is painting. Current, what are you going to do in that time?
So they've gone off, and the dinner delivery is due soon, is it?
Yes, it is. In fact, it's probably at the door. In fact, that's probably what you're doing next. Answering the
Yes.
knocking at the door.
And I'm apparently doing this by kidnapping the delivery boy by myself now, am I?
That's what the bags of flour were for all those years, you know.
Oh my.
Training you for this one moment.
And we suddenly cut out to a training montage of Current
Absolutely.
doing all kinds of training as little clip, it's like little clips go all across the screen, and the Eye of the Tiger plays.
Absolutely. Without a
Yes,
doubt.
Because
and an inspirational quote from Current's mentor. When you come back from the dead, there's always a reason. And you gotta find that reason. Current realizing this is his reason.
Nice.
All
All right.
right, so
What do you do?
so actually what I'm going to do is I am actually going to hide in one of the bushes or hedges just out front and wait for the delivery boy.
So wrong.
And wait for the delivery boy to show up so I can pounce out and be beside him / behind him so that he can't outrun me.
Woo!
Can he use my rolling with something extra since this is still the task? Same task?
No, it's just for you. Just for you.
And gonna basically attempt to grab him and scoop him up under my arm and basically kind of rugby carry him into the house.
All right, that's what you're hoping for.
Where?
But let's serve the house and find out how that really goes. So roll with fortitude.
That will be amusing. And
Confusing.
and +1 makes a 7. Oh, that rolled 2d4.
You rolled 2d4.
Oh, my mouse moved at the last second.
We'll call that a
this
good
one was
one.
better.
Do you want to? Yeah, you want to stick with it? Okay.
And
Even better.
+1 is 9, so it's 7 and 9.
All right. Do you want to gain a prestige or roll with something extra?
I guess I'll take the something extra.
Probably wise. All right. So that happens. Yeah, this kid gets ambushed out of nowhere. He does that thing where you can see him going up to the house and he puts down the stuff and then he turns around and there just less than a foot from him is Current.
Oh, no.
And then all he sees is darkness.
Oh no.
Alrighty.
I get him into the house and into one of the side rooms and promptly plop him in a chair and start tying him into the chair. Also, I'm going, don't mind me, this is for your own good.
This is for your safety. Excellent.
We're going to save the world by doing this. Yes, we are.
Oh my. Oh, there's a lot of drama here. All right, let's see. So Reynolds, you're painting with Alexander, and he's just tickled pink to do something. Yeah, he was absolutely bored out of his gourd here. And
now, no doodling on your own. This has to be, the decorations are very precise.
He's like, "Is this paint? It smells like copper."
Some of the materials I got from the art store in town aren't the best quality, but this is the color that was requested.
Interesting.
The copper makes it helps it look more red.
Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. Like, who told you to do this anyway? Father? He would just see us as a mess.
The master of the house, yes.
Like, you can see he's like suspicious, but he's having too much fun just doing stuff. And really, if anybody is at fault here, it's you. So he's not giving many craps at this point. So you kind of finish things off and step back and look at the room, and yeah, there's like 12 different circles intertwined with little sigils here and there and that kind of thing. And
so do I think it looks right?
Yeah, actually it does.
Okay.
You kind of put the paper up, the piece of the book up there, and like
go on the balcony, look it out.
Yeah, exactly. It looks about right. I mean, it's not laser precise or anything, but it's theoretically close enough for government work type of stuff. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? So I look at my handiwork and I'm like, good work, young sir.
And he goes, "You're very welcome.
Your family will be very impressed. But don't tell them yet. Let it be a surprise for after dinner."
Oh, certainly. And I forget, what room are you guys in? What are you doing this in?
The Great Hall.
Oh, the actual Great Hall. Oh, shit.
It was the largest room.
It was the largest room. Fair enough.
That's why it's called Great.
Exactamundo. Awesome. So, all right. So, yeah, he kind of like, he seems very pleased with himself. He did work. That manual labor that they talk about in school and stuff. And that kind of thing.
Like he goes to school.
Yeah, exactly. He like skips away and down the hall, takes the left. And Stephanie, you're finding Electo and having a conversation?
Yes. Killing the delivery boy will come later.
Tankers.
Yes,
so right for this position.
I'd like to go find Doe.
Okay, yeah, she's easy to find. She's always flitting back and forth between the Damien and her room. Now it's both their rooms. She's given up her personal room. Unlike some of the other women who keep their own in addition, she's given up her room and is 100% in Damien's quarters with him. She goes between there and like the kitchen. Back and forth, getting little things, whatever she needs, cold cloth or a nibble of something or whatever. And you kind of catch her in between, like if she's going one or the other.
Electo, may I speak with you for a moment?
And she kind of she looks like she's kind of in a hurry. She's going towards the kitchen area. She's like, as long as you don't mind walking with me.
No, that will be fine. So I wanted to ask you about the charm that you gave me the other day.
Oh, the bottle, yes.
Where did you get that?
Oh, it was an engagement present from Damien.
And how did you know that it was supposed to protect me?
Well, it wasn't made to do that. It was made for something completely different. It's a Malbane superstition. But what I did was actually cast a spell on it to protect from the evil eye and whatnot.
Oh, there is so much to unpack in that sentence. Um. Okay. So you. What was it originally designed for?
It's Malbane superstition.
I'm very interested in the Malbane super.
So she's like, as she gets down there, she's like, "If you butter some bread with me, I'll tell you all about it." And
I will do anything that you need me to if you will tell me all about it.
yeah, so before you know it, you're buttering bread, crafting a sandwich, and that kind of stuff. Some heating up the kettle for some tea, and as she's doing her
trying
thing,
to slow us down as much as possible without being obnoxious.
all right. So yeah, so she's like, so, it was basically passed down through the generations. It's called the Malbane amulet. It has something to do with it, if you again, and you can see how she's like, a complete disbeliever in this whole thing. He's like, it's basically said that if you sprinkle the blood of a Malbane on it, anyone who is also of the same blood will be inexplicably attracted to it and must be near it, at least within eyesight. And it's some superstition about them trying to track down family members for some family gathering, or that's where Damien says it gets all fuzzy. I don't know what the family meeting was, but
I think I have an inkling. And you said you cast a spell?
well, yes, I actually made it actually magical. I put a spell on it to protect from the evil eye. It might have worn off by now, but that's real magic.
Can you teach me a real protective spell?
Do you have any Romani blood?
I
don't think so. I'm afraid not then. It's all about the blood. As so many things are. She kind of finishes off the sandwich. The kettle's now squealing on the stove, and she pours the hot water into a teacup. Where right next to it is one of those little what do they call those little dippers in there? It's like, now if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to Damien. He is almost at peak health. Almost.
Alecto, don't let him leave the room.
That's silly. He has to go about his business, but we'll speak later. I have to go.
Alecto, please, and I'll kind of grab her arm. I care very much for the two of you, especially for you, and these Malbane gatherings are not healthy. I worry for what it would do to your husband if he were to go in his present condition, and I worry what would happen to you if anything happened to him. Please.
All right, so that seems like
If
you're
we
trying
have
to
any friendship. Yeah.
trying to guide her direction. So let's do that. Roll plus persuasion.
All right. Okay, cool. Success.
Is it actually a 7?
Success.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
That's actually a 7.
Let's see. I'm gonna say that she'll say that I'm just his wife, and while I do wield quite a bit of control over him, I can only suggest that he stay in his room. But if that's the case, she kind of looks you over, and she's like, if we're close like this, do you mind if I tell you a secret?
No, I don't mind at all.
She says, Damien and I are going to be leaving here after the family departs for the city after the new year, and we won't be coming back to the manor, I'm afraid. So with the money that I was given as a wedding gift, we can start anew, and if we do, I'd certainly like to maintain your services.
Yes, I would be absolutely delighted by that.
Right. So, agreed, I will do what I can. I cannot 100% control my man as much as I would like to think I do. He is a Malbane also, after all.
Yes, absolutely. I completely understand.
Very well. And with that, she's like, but I must go. And she kind of skitters out with the plate with the plate with the sandwich on it and the cup of tea and the tea dipper thing. All right. What's our next scene?
I'm grabbing a knife.
Grabbing a knife.
Excellent. I kind of assume it's the leading up to the ritual.
Yeah, I mean, especially with our time, and I'm watching the clock also. Mm-hmm. The ritual's about to begin. What are your last actions before then?
I have things that I want to do, but I've just taken a lot of free time. So
no, it's all part of the show.
I have my acquired ritual dagger on me for personal defense.
Excellent.
Or shenanigans, whichever.
Or shenanigans, as you say. Yes.
I am trying to convince the delivery boy that we're not actually intending and to calm down, and basically trying to I'm over him and offering him various snacks but not getting them for him, and
being the worst host ever.
We'll bring you candy.
And as it turns out, I actually do have some chocolates, some nice Swiss chocolates. After all, and I'm like, offering him the chocolates, but it's like, I mean, you have one, I hold it out, and it's like, well, if you don't want it, I put it away. Completely oblivious to the fact that with his hands behind his back, he can't take one. And I'm just waiting for Miss Denko to come back because this is feeling really awkward.
This is feeling really awkward. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'd like to stride into the room and stab the delivery boy with the knife from the kitchen and take a chocolate from the box
and around a mouthful of chocolate say, Mr. Curran, I need the keys to all the bedrooms.
You just stab him.
Yes, I just come in and just he's done. I'm killing him.
Jesus. Oh. Oh. Oh, God.
I am going to, recoil in shock and trip over one of the low tables and fall flat on my ass, spread eagled in shock.
Oh, my goodness. And what was the last thing you said, Danker?
Current now is not the time to be sitting down on the job. I need the bedroom. The ritual is about to start. And
what, you just, what? Why?
I'm gonna just start patting down, searching for the keys.
By the way, for anyone watching, this is not the episode where Danker takes any shit from anyone at all. So that's that episode. We're in that episode, so just so you know, in case you're not.
I guess.
Can I take the keys? Do I find
pull out a ring of keys? Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate your service. Probably best get to the Great Hall and bring the axe, the blunt, and something for Ren.
Oh my goodness.
And I would like to hurry upstairs with the keys, start locking the family bedrooms, starting with Damien and Electos.
Excellent. You can definitely do that.
Okay, cool.
Sure, I guess I'll recover my axe. I don't know if it's been put down somewhere. Rufus still has it, but it's mine, and I feel much better with it. And somebody gets the blunderbuss, and somebody else will get one of the arming swords that's hung on the wall. And I'm definitely keeping the pistol myself tucked in the back in my waistband under my jacket.
Ooh, we should probably take the rapier too, and give that to somebody so that can't get it.
What is Rufus taking?
Rufus.
Rufus
can take the rapier.
Rufus with the rapier in the Great Hall. Gotcha. All right. Okay. So
I'm tucking the protection bauble as deep into my clothing, many layers of clothing.
Fair enough.
It is tremendously difficult to get without completely undressing me.
So so you're kind of, all gathered in the hall waiting for something to happen, and it's just so quiet. You may have heard originally the rustling of the doors upstairs as people were trying to get out of their rooms, but couldn't. Do they even keep their own keys? Do they lock their own? Why would they lock their doors? Or who's going to come in? Everything's so silent, and then you hear the almost like a drag sound, then step drag, drag step. And as you kind of look around, you see from the back, from the rear entrance of the house up towards the Great Hall, is none other than Mortimer himself. Still holes in his clothes from the blunderbuss buckshot. Not looking so well. Things are rotted a bit, but he still kind of pushes himself along, and he actually stands in one of the circles before you know it. And he looks around at the three of you, Ready to serve the master of the house? Oop, you're muted.
You're muted.
Of course, sir. Does everything meet your satisfaction?
Okay, everybody should probably what do you call it? Ignore
the strange.
I think that's I think that's it's appropriate here.
Yeah, that's a 9 for current.
It's an 8 for Anchor.
An 8 as well.
Oh wow, I'm seeing a trend here. So you're distracted, meaning your actions somewhat less compromised, but you're able to do your duties. Like, he kind of turns around and he faces you and he kind of smiles. The first time you've never seen him smile, but it looks as wrong as you might expect, even before he was in the state in which he's in presently. And he starts speaking in what you would think would be like tongues. Again, it doesn't even sound like a language that you know, but it's just these like random syllables put together in different tones. And before you know it, the blood on the floor starts to light up. It starts to glow red. And it's almost like you don't know what the words are, but it's a counting. He's counting. And it's like 1, and it's like Delilah's there in a circle. 2, Bartholomew. 3, Damien. 4, Peyton. 5, Alexandrina next. Malachi. And
so this counts as the ritual being started?
Yeah, it does count as the ritual being started. And he gets to, as Reynolds, as you take out the dagger, he gets to 9, and suddenly you're standing in one of the circles.
Damn it!
No!
What do you do?
I shoot him with the blunderbuss.
I mean, we're straight for the murder.
I mean, I was going to go for Mortimer first, but, you know.
That's your first instinct. Anytime something's slightly wrong, just shoot it, right?
Shoot it. Well, I'm going to give Reynolds an opportunity.
I can wait. Yeah,
I can wait.
Reynolds, go kill Mortimer. Right. Yeah, that's okay. All good.
I mean, if I can move, I'm going to try and attack Mortimer.
You are able to move, you find. So I suppose this still is serving the house. I don't think you can really go much more above and beyond the Call of Duty than like the.
Trying to save the rest of the Malbanes.
Yeah, trying to save the rest of the Malbanes.
Including
trying to save part of the family.
So you know, as I shriek in kind of a high pitched yell because he's a little bit feminine at times, anyways. He'll say, "This is for for my mother," and I will stab him.
All right, let's serve that house. Roll plus fortitude.
And you get do you get to roll with something extra? Oh no, that was current. Current was rolling. Rats.
Oh no!
No.
I will make that a partial success.
Okay, you're going to spend all the prestige. Excellent.
I'll spend 3 for it. Down to 1.
All right. You can gain prestige or roll something.
I will roll with something extra for the remainder of the scene.
All right.
That's my 7 to 9 roll.
Okay, perfect. So, as you stab him, like there's like the it's like there's no windows open, but it's as if there were no walls here, and the wind is ripping through like torrentially. Like anyone who has long hair, it's all over the place. The stuff that's on tables is being blown off, the heavy stuff. As you like stab him with that dagger, the dagger itself lights up blue, and so does Malbane, Mortimer. And you step back, and you see between you and Malbane appears Sarah, and she has both of her hands up in the air, and she's like, "It's not this time, Matthew. Now it has to end." And she'll look over to you, Current. She'll say, "I don't have the strength to do it alone. Please help me."
What do you need?
And she kind of just reaches out for your hand. And again, all this wind and the sound that comes with it, the howling doesn't end. And it's just increasing in magnitude, if nothing.
Right. I will reach out and I will take her hand.
All right. So as you kind of take her hand, Current, it's this weird experience that's packed into literally a fraction of a second. You see this like you're seeing through the eyes of someone very tiny, kind of seeing, this countryside and looking around, and then there's this that you turn around and oh my god, there's the manor, but not as you know it. It's fresh, it's smaller. The stone is freshly hewn, it's new. And time kind of goes by in this image, in this thing you're experiencing, and you kind of see, the eyes, a little, someone looking in a mirror going to school or whatever, and it looks like Sarah looking back at you, and suddenly, she kind of, as you see the reflection of Sarah, you looking through her eyes, you see in that same reflection, this man up behind her, and like he has a strap and puts it around her neck, and that's all. That suddenly your experience is over, and suddenly you realize you've been kind of seeing, like, in this fraction of a second, you've seen like Sarah's lifetime, when she was alive, and then suddenly you're with her. You're seeing through her eyes now, and like you're projecting this white light into Malbane, and you're seeing now through her ghost eyes as she turns towards Danker, and she goes, "Now, do it!" And then turns back to Mortimer. What do you do, Danker?
I guess I shoot Mortimer?
All right, serve the house.
I'm confused who to shoot. Okay. Oh, do I get to roll with my something extra now from before?
I'm going to say this is definitely a different scene. So let's start with what your standard.
Okay. Well, I've saved up some prestige, so I should be okay. I'm actually definitely going to be okay. I spend a prestige in order to
make it a 7.
Roll with something extra for the remainder of the scene.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So the blunderbuss goes off with unerring accuracy, and you see basically like the top part of Mortimer disintegrate under its force, and all that's left is kind of like this outline of a ghostly outline of a man without even features that you can see, and with that, it's like the rest of him kind of collapses and falls backwards, and Current, you kind of feel the same thing that Sarah is feeling, is this sense of finality, like it's done. And then Current, you cease to be. In this plane, at least.
Oh, is it time to... And then I just finish.
Exactly. And so the wind dies down. Reynolds, you're still on your back. The circles and the sigils stop glowing red, and you're left with a bunch of very confused Malbanes standing around you. And Bartholomew looks straight at you. He looks towards Danker. He looks towards Reynolds and he looks back. Are you late with supper again? And that's how we'll end this session. And I'll be right in the world.
I think Bartholomew knows that, head of the house is better than not head of the house.
So we'll do a quick epilogue. Let's start with Danker. You're now a member of the Damien Electo household, and you're living in France.
Oh, yes! Oh, fantastic! Oh. Okay, how does an epilogue work?
Tell me what dialogue, what's now that this being the situation, how is Stephanie taking her life from this point, if you will?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so Stephanie is a well-liked and influential Communist Party in France, and is to upend traditional hierarchy of nobility. She always hopes and wishes that she and Electo could be something that would never interfere with the happiness of the lady of the house, who is very happy with her family. And, I like to imagine that Denker continues with Reynolds wherever he is, but he's back.
Excellent. All right, Reynolds, what does your future hold now that you're been revealed to be Malbane, illegitimate?
I think I'm treated with the same scorn that Electo was, in terms of, not really being part of the family. To the point where, I occasionally still get ordered about as a servant, and of course the servants here are still few and far between.
And constantly being switched around.
And constantly not staying for long, as everyone still has their issues. But yeah, I think he's living a better life, but again, still not really one of the family.
So what's now that Reynolds is not really Reynolds anymore. Now that he's a family member, what is his trouble that the staff has to contend with?
Oh, his trouble.
Season 2. No, there's not.
He just steals everything. Just progressively bigger.
Kind of already. My trouble. I actually don't know what a good trouble would be. Any suggestions?
Let's see.
Maybe you're into alchemy.
Oh,
that wouldn't be a bad one.
You
I
were
did
the
have
one
the
who
book.
got the ritual one and the
yeah,
book.
maybe
and
you
And
can
I've
live forever.
I think I've started. I think my trouble is trying to see if I can resurrect Mother.
Oh damn!
You're gonna no. You live forever. You can be the big bad of the Highlander game.
Oh, I didn't get any of the spirit stuff from Mr. Balbane. So
You're trying to resurrect Mother.
That's
Yes.
funny. That's awesome.
Steve, so did you know the whole time?
yeah, that was my secret.
Was that
So
was your
yes,
secret?
I let you guys kidnap and kill the. Self-preservation.
I mean, to be fair, I would have killed you. Or at least
I completely understand.
Oh my god!
Without
and
any remorse.
Oh man!
And current, current is forever able to relax, drink some fine wine, read penny dreadfuls to the end of eternity.
Are you kidding? When I disappeared, the axe went with me.
Oh, that's perfect.
And And now I'm trumping about the afterlife looking for demons.
Ooh, even better.
They are very messy. I have to clean up.
Funny. Awesome. Awesome. So yes.
I'm having tea parties with Sarah.
Tea parties. Oh, that's sweet. Who saw a quasi happy ending coming from this entire campaign? I wasn't sure, but here we are.
Quasi happy.
Yeah. So I just want to say you all rocked the house. I did want to take just a few minutes to talk about Bedlam Hall and kind of how I mean, when you on the surface of the game, it's horror, it's terrifying, it's wrong, it's immoral, it's all the bad things, and somehow we made it not something that you all as players went home with trauma over, but we had lots of laughs and that kind of thing. So how did that happen? How do we transform the horror to Addams Family comedy type stuff?
But I think that's one of the call outs even the system makes, is the stuff like Addams Family of yes, there's, horrible people and everyone's, potentially horrible and nasty to each other. But that doesn't mean that it can't be, with its share of hijinks. Because even if this was, a deadly serious, show, I mean, I've laughed at natural born killers, during, certain scenes. Like, it's just like sometimes things are just funny in their absurdity.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Yeah, and everything is such a caricature. I think, at least the way that we played our characters, and the way that you had like such over the top things happen, that I think that we could embrace all of the horror system, but like ratchet it up to 11 and let it be like funny because it just was so not real anymore.
You made us all really, really, really hate Petunia like instantly.
Especially Reynolds. She was always torturing him.
Well, Reynolds got the last laugh in the end. So awesome. I hope you guys had a great time. I know I did. It was one of the
Definitely.
This is a very unique system, a very unique world we created, and I loved it, every second of it, and I'm glad you guys had some fun. But we're over time, so I just want to let's say goodbye to our players, our awesome players. Again, it's there's if you go to acting classes and stuff, they talk about like playing off the other individuals. This person makes this choice, then you go with it and do this. And there's a lot of that kind of thing going back and forth. So as cool as this was, it wouldn't have worked if me and the players weren't working together, and the players weren't so awesome that like I gave them the lead and they went with it and made it like another level of cool and that kind of thing. So please recognize that this is such an important thing happening here between myself and the players, especially in this game where we had to take it to ratchet it up to 11 and make it absurd and have some fun with it. So again, my hat's off. What a great group of players. I'm so happy that we got the show that I was looking for all along. So let's say goodbye for now to Philip.
Yep. Thank you so much. It was a blast, and thanks to those of you who watched, and Steve, Jason, Scott, thanks. Had a blast.
Absolutely. And I think we're, in theory, depending on how things go, we're going to see you in some season of Dune perhaps coming up.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Or something else, or something. But yeah, you are not gone from the Scott's Case Files sphere, which makes me very happy. So awesome. And Jason, thank you for everything you contributed to this. It was awesome.
Oh, I can't say anything. I've been banished from the mortal realm.
we're defying that for the moment. But thank you for being awesome as always. You really brought another. I loved how you got you sold the butler caricature 110% all the time, and that's what made it so fun too.
and then I died, and then I came back, and I was, well, I said to be dangerous and paranoid and a bit unbalanced, and definitely playing up my lack of composure.
Well, it was a good show, man. You did awesome, and the current was, yeah, he was a cool dude. We liked him, so that's awesome.
Yes, let's politely answer the door while holding an axe. No problem at all.
As you do. So cool, and I'm sure we'll see Jason again. He's always up for a game, so just a matter of what we're playing. So we'll see you soon again, Jason. And of course, Steve. Thank you, Steve, for being awesome. Again, Reynolds is cool.
Scott. Thank you for that. I enjoyed all the sass and shade with the other players.
Yeah, that was unique to this game. It was awesome.
Holding a straight face and letting them do horrible things to people that they thought were Simon.
Right. Oh my god, I do have to bring that up. This is like, as I mentioned on other sessions, like this is like the only game I would ever feel comfortable being this cruel to you as characters. It's like, I'm not a jerk, really. This is not every NPC is condescending, but this, they had to be. So that was weird for me. I had to force myself to be mean at every turn, which made it, of course, more funny because, again, it was up to the next level of absurd. These caricatures are blue bloods and whatnot. So anyway, thank you very much. And again, these guys are so cool, and I'm so glad to have them around and hanging around with me and being happy to play games with me, because that makes me happy, and we put on a good show. So with that said, I'm Scott's Case Files, the channel you're watching. Think of following or subscribing if you're looking at me on Twitch, and hit the little bell thing to be alerted when I go live and all that kind of good stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, think of subscribing and hitting the bell it'll let you know when I'm putting new material out there, which is weekly, mostly actual plays, but other stuff too. And with that said, we say goodbye to Malbane Manor. It was a good ride. We enjoyed it in a really horrific, traumatic type of way. And
we say goodbye and good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance. All right. So, bye for now. Go forth, do no harm, be good to each other, and don't be a Malbane. Bye for now.